is staying, which has determined your fate. I've never seen so clear. I feel the end and it's near. The day of reckoning's here. The sound of deafening fear.
You won't die if you try. You just might get a little bit of trouble. K-O-I-F-E, right in your side. You would never see me coming. You won't die if you try. You just might get a little bit of trouble. K-O-I-F-E, right in your side.
NFL Nation, how you doing? Come on in. Welcome to As the NFL Turns, baby. Kickoff pregame show. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Dog 17 of the Keeping It Real Who That Sports podcast.
Yes, sir.
And that's the one and only non-fiction.
Real fan sports, baby.
There you go.
Real fan sports everywhere. Every platform.
We hope everybody's having a good weekend. Look, we're going to get your Sunday kicked off. It's week 7. Some great games going on today. The top game during the early schedule, I think it's the Lions taking on the Ravens. I think that's going to be a very heated contest. Also, in the Sunday night game, the Dolphins in the city of brotherly love taking on those Eagles who come in with a wing clip, baby. They come in with a wing clip. They're 5-1, 2 5-1 teams going at it. All right, family, listen.
That's going to be a good one.
Yeah, that's going to be a good game tonight, man. That's going to be a special one, man. And listen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get straight to it. When we come back, we're going to get the injury report. Let's get All right, now you got the injury report for me, brother?
Yeah, so we're going to go over, just kind of go through a few teams. So far, we know that Montgomery is still out, and Marvin Jones for the Lions is still out. Look over to the Raiders, Garoppolo, Nate Hobbs, and Jacorian Bennett are major factors, but they're out. For the Bears, Justin Fields is out with a right thumb injury still. Roshan Johnson, Nate Davis, and Eddie Jackson. Scroll down. We look at the Colts. Colts is the tight end. Tyler Granson is back up, but he offered a concussion. He'll probably be back in about 6 to 7 days. Okay. Then we go over to the Bills, Quentin Morris, Patriots. They have a long list of questionables. So that's that was they got like 15 people on the questionable list right now. But for the definite outs, we have Riley Reif, Keon White, and Josh Uche. Was it a knee injury? Come down to the Commanders. Commanders are good right now. Giants have center John Michael Schmidt, Andrew Thomas, and Matt Pert. For the Buccaneers, we have Vita V with the foot injury, Anthony Nelson, concussion injury protocol. The Steelers, Pat Freiermuth was out with a hamstring injury. We go over to Kyron Williams from the Rams and Laurel Murchison with a knee injury. They're out for sure this weekend. Go down to the Cardinals, Kyler Murray, of course.
Right.
Elijah Wilkinson, Antonio Hamilton, and Jalen, the safety over there, Jalen Thompson with a hamstring injury. Green Bay, Devondre Campbell is out, the linebacker for the Packers. The Broncos, the tight end, the young tight end, Greg Dulcich is out with a hamstring injury. Chargers, we have Jalen Geaton, Otito Agbonia, and Deion Leandro, and the safety Gilman. I don't want to badger his first name. I would kill it. Dolphins is Nick Needman with an Achilles injury, and Jalen Ramsey with a knee injury. Let's see. Of course, with the Niners, Deebo Samuel is out for sure. Christian McCaffrey is still questionable with a rib injury. So that's questionable, and that's a game time decision. Also, Trent Williams is doubtful for a show up today with an ankle injury. Vikings has Ezra Cleveland, Jaguars Tyson Campbell, Devon Hamilton, and Zay Jones, but they played Thursday, so they'll be fine this weekend. Saints Jawan Johnson, of course, was out this previous Thursday. Landon Young and JT Gray, and that's about it for right now. Those are the major outs. There's a bunch of questions, but those are the outs for sure.
All right, those are the outs, and that's been up to the minute injury report. And also, little more just to let y'all know, Los Angeles Chargers safety Derwin James is a game time decision. against the Chiefs, and I don't want to badger some names. So if I badger some names,
Yeah.
forgive me. It's not on purpose. Let's other end, like you touched on Aaron Jones. He intends to play today versus the Broncos, but he's dealing with a hamstring. The Patriots, Juju Schuster-Smith concussion.
Yeah.
He's unlikely to play, so he should be out. And tight end Hunter Henry with an ankle, and wide receiver Demario Douglas also with a concussion are expected to play. Ian Rappaport reported. So that's your up to the minute injury report, family. All right.
Yes, sir.
So let's get to the first game on the docket. Got the Lions at the Ravens. This game here, I think it's going to be one of the better games this weekend. Now, what you looking for in this game here, my brother?
I want to see how Goff shows up to this game. Goff, a good quarterback. Is actually he started out the end of last season, started looking really good. Now this season's kind of put together a great little, I guess you could say, like a essay saying why he should be in the top 10, top 15, top 10 in the league. But I expect him to show up and do some big things. But the question is the Ravens. The Ravens, they have question marks where the receivers just don't know how to catch the ball sometimes. The plays are there. The offense is there. But sometimes there's miscommunication. I don't know where it's at. I don't know if it's on the QB side of the ball. I don't know if it's on the receivers or just the game planning itself, or players are just not happy in this situation and they want to be somewhere else. If the Ravens can have a complete game, this can be a very good shootout for Sunday afternoon.
And looking at the tail of the tape right quick, as we can see, you got the number 2 defense taking on the number 4 ranked offense, which is going to be a battle. Now the Ravens offense is top 12 offense in the league, but they're 21st pass. As far as the Lions, they come in with the 6th ranked passing attack and the 8th ranked rushing attack. And man, is Montgomery playing today for the Lions? Because
no, he's out. I believe he's out.
No, and the young running back from Alabama. So will we see him today?
Craig Reynolds is questionable, and Marvin Jones Jr. is out.
Wow. Okay. St. Brown is playing though.
Yes, he's playing.
St. Brown's playing. Okay.
Actually, looking on this list, on the injury list, it said he was out, but I don't see Montgomery on this list on the injury report on the ESPN injury report.
Okay.
So that could be a game time decision then if they took him off of there.
Okay. And let's look at, speaking of Jared Goff, let's look at his stats right here.
Yes, sir.
69% completion rate for 1,618 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Jared Goff is having a real fantastic season right now for the Lions. His mistakes are he's cut down on his mistakes that he made in the past.
Yeah.
He seems to have matured as a quarterback. He's in a system that I believe that works for him, that's built around his skills, his skill set. And I think right now, personally, I think he should be in the MVP conversation.
You think so?
I think Jared Goff should be in the MVP conversation. I think.
When you look at a statistic, I can see the argument, especially. Right now, I think the front runner is Tua. Tua is first in everything. Tua is first in every category when it comes to the offensive side of the ball. He's first in passing attempts, touchdown attempts. He's first in yards of catch completions. Like we were talking about it in our podcast this past Wednesday. Tua's numbers is ridiculous, and I didn't realize how crazy they really were. But I could see Goff being in the conversation, especially after coming from the Rams and everybody wrote him off like his name was dirt. And it's another one of those things we talked about where quarterbacks or just players in NFL, they get shot off as like, oh, they're not worth anything, but then go into a different situation, all of a sudden they flourish. And sometimes it's like with Tua situation and with Geno, if the coaches put confidence in him, who knows what they really can do. If your coach don't believe in you, they don't believe in you.
Right.
Period.
Yeah, that's simple. It's just that simple. Hey, family, we're now being joined by another co-host as the NFL turns
What's up,
Kickoff
Coach?
pregame show, the one and only legendary Coach Rock. Coach, how you doing?
Hey
What's good,
guys,
Coach?
what's going on, man? How y'all doing today?
We doing good, man.
Good.
All
We doing,
right, all
Blessed.
right.
thank you for being here, Coach.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, family. It's time for Team Pulse. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
All right, family, joining us now. You see him, he's live on the screen. You see those colors. He's representing that dog pound, baby. And last week, they clipped up there. Listen, last week, they sent the 49ers back to California without no goal, baby. They went back empty-handed. The one and only Mr. Casey. Kinnaman. Casey, how you doing? Come on in.
Doing great, boys. Doing great. How we doing today?
Doing good. Welcome in.
Thank you.
Appreciate you
Thanks for having me, man.
Hey, Casey, tell everyone your platforms where they can find you, man.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Casey_Kinnaman. I'm on Network 216 on YouTube, co-host of the Barking Brown Show. Also, co-host of a show Off the Leash on the Pro Sports Fan app, PSF. Everyone blow it up. Let's get everybody in that community. Man, I'm excited. You can find my writing at Dog Pound Daily if you want to follow me there, see what's going on with the Browns on the day-to-day. That's about it.
All right,
Okay.
All right. So, man, my first question is, man, how's everybody in Cleveland feeling after last week's, let's face it, shocking win over the 49ers without your starting quarterback?
Riding high, man. We needed that. We took a hell of an L going into the bye week against Baltimore. They needed morale to get back up. And you feel like you almost stole one now. You know, you lost a game earlier in the year to Pittsburgh. You had no business losing. Now you stole one back against San Fran, get you back on even playing field. Now you're heading to Indy, a team that on paper you should absolutely beat. You know, so now it's about not having that letdown. That's what it's about this week.
So this team, going into the game with today with Indy, I would say you as a team and as fans, you guys are looking for consistency from the Browns today.
Yeah, that's exactly it, man. You know, there's too many peaks and valleys. If you want to be one of those consistent teams that's actually a contender, you got to be able to get up week in, week out. You cannot afford to have a letdown. And that was a highly emotional game last week. It'd be easy to see this team come in and have a letdown, you know, but it's all about the defense. Defense travels. If the same defense that has taken the field for 4 out of the 5 first games shows up in Indy, that's going to be tough sledding for the Colts today.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. You know, watching Deshaun Watson in one of his last interviews, it almost feels like he doesn't want to play. Like it feels uncertain about him and how he feels about the team right now. What are your thoughts on that? What do you think about that?
I think it's probably hurt though to be on the sidelines and see them take off the hottest team in the league and win without you. So I think that kicked up the urgency to get him back on the field. Yeah, if you want to be a part of that. You know, it's a lot of mixed reactions. You know, like the shoulder's been shrouded in mystery. Like it was weird how it played out that first week in Baltimore. Then to find out after the fact, oh no, there's swelling in the joint, and he's going to need time. They're saying 4 to 6 weeks. Yeah. And then all of a sudden that timeline gets ramped back up, and he's out there in 3. It was encouraging though, because he finally took the field for practice on Thursday. I was worried after that workload that he wasn't going to show up on Friday, you know, but his shoulder responded. He took all the first team reps. So by all indications, unless he stubs a toe on the way out to the field today, hopefully we got Deshaun Watson under center.
Oh, that's good then if he's going to be there, because I would say him versus Gardner Minshew. That's you can't help but pick Deshaun Watson. You know, I mean, I like the fact that we started to see some of the MVP candidate that we saw a couple years back, and I said in a couple other streams that if we can see him get back to that status, this Browns team can go pretty far with him just carrying the load. Definitely, I think they still need a few more pieces on the offense side, but I think it's still a potential for a playoff run.
It's kind of hard to determine what they need on the offensive side because you have no consistency at the quarterback play. Like you finally saw it in week 3 against Tennessee. He looked decent. And the team, you started to see where the explosive plays come from. And I mean, let's call it what it is, man. You lost Nick Chubb. That is a huge loss. And it's going to take the team a while to get its identity now. But without a steady quarterback play, you don't know what it's going to be. So hopefully over these next 2 weeks before the trade deadline, you kind of get a pulse for what they could be with Deshaun Watson to determine if they have to go out and make a move on October 31st.
Well, has there been any rumors or any indications that if they're looking at looking at a running back from somewhere?
It is speculation season right now,
Yeah.
man. Everyone's picking the bones of the Denver Broncos. Everyone's looking for either Jerry Jeudy or Garrett Bowles at left tackle, which I think that would fit the Browns' needs. I think they need to. Actually, they had another offensive lineman go on the IR, so I think you need to look at depth if nothing else. But if you can sneak a starting left tackle out of somewhere, I'd make that move.
My question is, you just spoke about the loss of Nick Chubb, and of course that was a major. How important you guys to have out there, man, ready to come back?
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Nick had one more year on his contract after this year. There's no guaranteed money, and you know how running backs get treated in this league. Right. They get discarded too quickly. But Nick Chubb's, man, that dude's one of one. If anybody could come back from this injury a second time, it would be him. But even if he comes back, are you getting the same Nick Chubb back? Is that even possible? I mean, he's such an explosive athlete. Yeah. We're talking about 28. He's got some tread on the tires now. I don't know. He's my favorite player of all time, man. That's the easiest dude to root for I've ever seen.
I like Nick Chubb. Yeah.
Oh yeah. How could you not? I mean, if you find someone that doesn't like Nick Chubb, that's a red flag, dude. That dude's solid, man. But now they got to go forward with Jerome Ford and Kareem Hunt, who looks like he's not going to go today. So
Kareem Hunt's not going to go.
Kareem's not going to go.
Wow. Yeah, thigh injury. Who's slated? He was questionable coming into it, and then a lot of rumors this morning swirling around, and they activated another dude off the practice squad to be able to go. So it looks like they're geared up to run without him today. Jerome Ford be your lead back. Pierre Strong getting those second looks. So yeah, and that's something they got to do, man. With Watson coming back, they got to establish the run and get some good quick game going to get the ball out of Watson's hands. Let him build his confidence.
He's not a bad back though. He's actually pretty decent.
No,
he's pretty decent.
No, but the offensive line hasn't been playing up to snuff either, man. This is an offensive line that gets a lot of flowers based on the names on the back of those jerseys. They have not been playing like it at this point in the season, so they got to get that figured out now. On the opposite side, the Colts have a defensive tackle that was ruled out for PEDs this week, Grover Stewart. Now, he might not be a household name, but that dude is a menace in the run game. And him not being on the field, man, the Browns got to establish that run between the tackles.
Establish it early. If they get it early, they can run it. They can run over the Colts, man.
I agree, especially if this defense playing the way they're playing. But don't sleep on Gardner Minshew, man. That dude's got Jeff George's confidence with Chad Pennington's arm. He will go out there, and if you let him sling it, he'll go for it, man.
I like the one thing I like about Garden. I know we're talking about the Browns, but he has a short memory. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He'll throw a pick and go out there and throw the same thing again right afterwards.
Dude, ain't nobody believing Gardner Minshew like Gardner Minshew. That dude's confidence is at an 11 at all times.
That's facts. That is facts.
Right. Hey, Case, let me ask you this, man. How confident are you as the Browns fan and also one who covers the team on a daily basis of this team contending with the top teams in the AFC as a possible Super Bowl contender?
Completely possible, man. The AFC isn't what we thought it was going to be. Going into this, man, the AFC was looking like the juggernaut. And then I come out of it thinking that the top teams are in the NFC, in my opinion, right now. The Colts, they're a mid-level team, but you look around the league and you got the Chiefs. Obviously, they're the threat. Even if they're not playing well, as long as they make the playoffs, man, they're the top contender. It is what it is.
Right,
Bills are playing good, Jags are playing good, but no one's really separating the way we thought they would. And even in the AFC North and the AFC North in general, man, everyone's within one game right now, so it's anyone's game. It's up to Deshaun Watson, man. If he reaches his ceiling, I mean, this is 100% a contender. But if he stays like just a mid guy, the defense can take you far, but it can't score 40 for you when you need it.
Especially, I would say, especially when you look at the Super Bowl, the last 5 years Super Bowls, the offense has been the powerhouse and not the defense. So, if you're going into the Super Bowl now, especially in this modern time right now, your offense got to be high powered.
Oh, absolutely, man. You got to be able, and point blank, at the end of the day, if there's 2 minutes to go and you got the ball in your hands, you got to have a team that can move it and make it happen.
Exactly.
And I just don't feel that the Browns are there right now with that. I think they need to play with the lead, play into that defense, field position, those things. But I don't feel confident if there was 2 minutes and 12 seconds with one timeout that you feel confident Deshaun can move it 80 yards. That's where they need to get.
Let me ask you about 3 players that you drafted this year and just how their development is going. In the third round was the guy I was high on, Cedric Tillman. out of Tennessee. How is he doing so far?
Well, he missed the last game with an injury, and that's my concern. Him coming out of college was he missed a lot of games due to injuries over his 3 years in Knoxville. But from a talent perspective, from a size perspective, he's exactly what you want in that prototypical X, that boundary guy. He's big bodied, he's strong, he's nice at the catch point. And he actually wasn't asked to run a ton of different routes in Tennessee. It was a pretty limited route tree. So I've been very encouraged by the amount of routes he's able to put under his belt so far since he's been in the league. They drafted him to be Donovan Peoples-Jones' replacement. In the event they can't re-sign him, that's the guy that's going to get those looks on the outside. He should be back this week. Peoples-Jones has really been a non-factor so far this year. So you wonder if they start putting Tillman in there to kind of eat some of those reps.
Another kid is a kid played at LSU and he went on the Baylor, the defensive tackle, Ika.
Yeah, Siaka, man. He's been inactive. Here's the thing, dude. The day we drafted him, it was assumed he was going to be a starter. I mean, that's how weak this defensive tackle room was, is you were counting on a rookie for those serious reps.
Interesting.
He hasn't even been active yet. He started the year with an injury, but that defensive tackle room seen such a facelift. I mean, you go get a Dalvin Tomlinson, you go get Shelby Harris, and then I'll tell you what, the underrated flyer is they got Maurice Hurst. Now, he was an afterthought because he's battled a ton of injuries since he's been in the league, but he looks right, and he is a nasty pass rusher. So he gives them a good rotation. So Ika hasn't even been able to see the field yet.
Hey, Dolphy, he said Maurice Hurst. That's Maurice Hurst who played at Forsyth. That's his son who played at Michigan.
Right, yeah, his son, right, yeah, that's his son.
Yeah, I just talked to Maurice. Another kid I was really high on was the pass rush out of Missouri, Isaiah McGuire. Yeah. How has he come? I was real high on this
Another
kid.
Guy,
here.
We don't even know yet, man. This pass rushing rotation is so deep, that kid can't even see the field, which is a good problem to have, man, because I was super high on him myself. You see what he was able to do in Missouri, and you see all kinds of traits you just love out of a pass rusher. But with a Myles Garrett, Zadarius Smith, Obo Okoronkwo, Alex Wright, this kid can't even see the field. So I don't know if we'll find out this season, to be honest, unless we battle a major injury.
Okay. Interesting.
The rookie I want to talk about is DeJuan Jones. Have you guys seen this guy yet?
That was a tackle at Ohio State, huh?
Yeah. Oh my God, he's swallowing dudes up. He wasn't even supposed to play. He was one of they had Jack Conklin out there. He goes down halfway through the first quarter of the first game, and all of a sudden you got this 6'8", 400-pound rookie out there, and he is just swallowing cats. Like, I'm very encouraged.
I was surprised he lasted until the fourth round. I don't know what his draft scores was, but I was surprised he lasted that long, man, to the fourth round.
He went to the Senior Bowl and dominated one day. I mean, just the first day dominated and didn't practice the rest of the day. And there's all those things swirling around. Does he love football? Is he going to be 100% committed? Because he's one of those dudes. You look at his skill set, his tool belt. If he wants to be great, he could be great.
Yeah.
But do you love the game? And one way to find out is put him on the field. And the Browns have one of the better offensive line coaches really in history in Bill Callahan. That dude is a wizard back there.
Bill Callahan
Yeah, he's a dude. So he's been able to get DeJuan up to speed. DeJuan's pass blocking has been phenomenal. He lacks a little in the run game. They run a lot of that outside zone, and he might not be built for that. He might be more of a thin pool type guy.
Well, is Dorian still on the roster? Did he make it as a third or fourth string quarterback on the practice squad?
He was the backup quarterback until that Baltimore game, and they put him out there before he was ready. And I think they were worried they're going to ruin his development. That kid's electric in the preseason, but the preseason can lie to you. You can see some things in that preseason that might fool you. And that was the case with him. He was so electric that they moved off of Josh Dobbs and traded him to Arizona. In reality, they probably should have kept Dobbs and let Dorian Thompson just kind of develop at his own pace instead of throwing him into the fire the way they had to.
Well, Casey, my brother, we want to thank you for joining us, my man. And again, before you get out of here, man, please let everybody know your platforms where they can find you and follow you.
Yeah, man, we're on Network 216 on YouTube. Check us out. We do pregame, postgame, plenty of Browns content on there for everyone's looking for that. Like I said, Dog Pound Daily is the label that pays. That's where I do all my writing at. You can also catch me on Pro Sports Fans, man. I can't plug this enough. PSF. You guys get it. Get the app. Apple, Android, whatever you got to do. That's right.
PSF too.
I don't care if you got to steal their phone and put the app on for them. You do what you got to do. Let's get people to that platform, and we keep rocking, man. It's awesome being on with you guys. Have a great Sunday.
Thank you, brother. Man. Have a good Sunday.
Thank you.
Good luck with the games, too.
Hey, appreciate that. Don't need it.
All right, family. Thank you to Mr. Casey Kinnaman come on joining us today, giving us the lowdown, giving us the breaking news about the Cleveland Browns. Have a good day, sir. Thank you.
You too, man.
All right, family. Now joining us once again, it's time. Live on the screen from Beware the Stampede, Mr. Jeremy Grathel. And if I pronounce your last name wrong, I apologize, my brother. But Jeremy, thank you for being here, my brother. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, guys. Welcome and happy game day to all of you.
Happy game day,
well.
sir. Welcome in, welcome in.
Game day.
Man, listen, man. The Buffalo Bills. I'm gonna get straight to it. Your quarterback. A lot of people consider Josh Allen as one of the upper echelon quarterbacks in this league. I do too. But my thing with Josh Allen is playoffs. To me, he's coming up short in the playoffs. What is your thought about that? And how does Bill Mafia feel about Josh Allen?
I mean, as Bills Mafia, we still believe in JA-17, right? Yeah, I think he's still the guy to take us to the promised land. I mean, the playoffs, it's tough. As Bills fan, the playoffs have not been kind to us. I mean, y'all know the 90s. Y'all seen the recent games.
Right. It's the history with that, man.
It's the history, and I think last year was the year I was really looking for. I think what happened. I was at the Bengals game. I was at the Dolphins game. I think the Dolphins game was kind of a telltale sign of where we ended up. I mean, playing Skylar Thompson, going down to the wire against a third string quarterback. It kind of scared me going into the Cincinnati game. I think last year was a good year for us. I think emotionally the team was just drained. I think with DeMar Hamlin, everything that happened, I think it was a tough season for us to kind of go into the playoffs, and I think we just ran out of gas. I still believe he's the guy that's going to take us to the promised land. I really do. I think it's still finding that balance in the offense. You know, I think even this year we've seen glimpses of it when Cook has been on. But I think it's still finding that offensive line that's going to give us the best opportunity to have that balance between rushing and receiving and passing success. I mean, we need Josh Allen to stop running the ball. If our quarterback is the leading rusher for the team, that's a problem to me. You guys have running back. That's in the name, right? Shouldn't be Josh Allen.
Right.
I say that all the time.
Yeah. Like it can't happen. You know, I appreciate the fact that he's mobile. You know, we see those glimpses of him as being the mobile quarterback. But the problem is, too, is that really cuts down on the longevity he's going to have in this league. And he is not as young as he used to be, right? He's not old, but he's not as young as he used to be.
Exactly.
And the thing is, that offensive line's got to protect him and give him the opportunity to throw. And we got to start being more balanced, handing that ball off to Cook more and using them as outlets, as opposed to Josh being the one-man show, especially when you got Diggs. You know, you got one of the best receivers in the league, hands down, year after year after year. If you look at him right now, I would say you could argue overall he's the number one receiver. Most people would say Hill, which I won't disagree with that. I don't like him because he plays for the Dolphins. But, you know, you look at Diggs' number. He's number 2 in receptions with 49. He's number 3 with yards at 620. And he's tied for second with 5 touchdowns. I mean, you take that out over the season, you're looking at what? 139 receptions, 1,700 yards, and 14 touchdowns. Man, I'll take that any day. That man's an MVP.
Oh, yeah. Any day. Definitely agree with that one. I mean, with the game like that's coming up next week, you guys playing the Patriots. If you know, you want to say a gimme, it's kind of like a gimme, but
is it?
you want to say it, but that's the question I want to ask you. Is it a gimme for the Bills?
I don't think anything's a gimme. I mean, you could look at the Giants last week. You know, we came back after the Jaguars game, and we were kind of licking our wounds, which look, I'm throwing the Jaguars game out the window. I got a lot of issues with the NFL on that and Goodell. I think if you have a team there for 2 straight weeks, you've got a team traveling late in the week to go play in London. I got issues with that. That's a whole nother conversation, but I think anybody playing in London, I don't think you should have a 2-week stint where you got teams staying there. I think you got to try and make that a little more fair as far as that goes. But either way, we didn't show up. Giants game, that was a tough game because I think, one, we were trying to not overlook them, which I think we did a little bit. And I think, two, you've got a revenge game there. I mean, you got Taylor, who was the quarterback that broke us back into the playoffs. You know, hadn't played and started in like 2 years, has an opportunity to come back home, if you will, and kind of start that game. And there's no way to prepare for a quarterback like him because you haven't seen film on the guy in years. So I think that's a tough game script. You had Barkley coming back. I think as Bills fans, we all thought that was going to be a blowout. And we were struggling up until the end of that game. And the end of that game could have turned out differently. Taylor doesn't blow that call going into halftime and call that audible. That could have been a very different ending to that game for us. So I don't think you go into the Patriots today overlooking them. I think they have struggled mightily against us, but there's always that it's the Patriots, and they, even without Tom Brady, you don't want to overlook them because it's still the Patriots. So it means a whole lot to us to win that game.
Playbook.
Jeremy, you're being kind. You're being kind. Those are not the same Patriots.
It's not the same Patriots.
That's a dumpster fire over there. And if Buffalo goes to losing to the Patriots today, somebody needs to write the league, write Congress, do something.
We better win that game by at least a touchdown, at least, because Mac Jones is a train wreck. Zappy is no better.
Yeah. No.
Let me ask you.
Let me ask you one question, player. Coach, it's about a player that coach liked in the draft process, and I like that. So one of my favorite players, and he's a tight end, Dalton Kincaid. How special? Yeah. You already know, Coach. I love that kid coming out, man. How has his development been, and what do you see the future for him and Josh Allen? Is there a chemistry development between those two?
I think there is. I think it's going to be slow. I was never sold on Knox. I'm still not. And to my Bills fans that are watching this, and my Bills Mafia, look, I love Knox to a degree, but I think Kincaid is the next big thing. I was expecting Shakir to kind of step into that slot role coming out of Boise State, and then they went and brought in Kincaid. And I love Utah. I love Utah players. I'm a big Zach Moss fan, still high on him, even though he's with the Colts. And I love Kincaid. He's a special kid. He's got great hands. He's got speed. He's got size. So I think as he gets to play more out of the slot, you're going to see more out of him. I think right now, Allen is still very much defaulting to a safety net of, Stephon Diggs. Even Gabe Davis this year has stepped up. I think his numbers, if you project them out over the year, he's almost 1,000-yard receiver. But he's got to find that. Yeah, he's got to find that third option. I think that's going to be Kincaid. Obviously Kincaid being hurt right now, not going to play today. But I think it's going to be one of those. As he continues to get more involved in the offense, you're going to see him used a lot more because Allen's got to look more than just Diggs. I love Diggs, but you cannot go to him every time. You can't look to just throw the vertical ball to Gabe Davis. He's got to learn to expand that offense a little bit more. And that's where Kincaid's going to really flourish in that role.
Yeah, so he doesn't use like a check down. Like you have a running back that's just open sometimes, and you're going for the long ball where you don't have to, and you're throwing double and triple coverage. That doesn't make any sense. Like, don't do that. You put yourself in bad situations every time. That's why you're losing games, because of dumb situations, making dumb moves.
And I think that's where Allen's struggling. It's the IQ. Yeah. It's not the skill set. The man's got a cannon for an arm. He's fast. He's strong. It's just still, when do you throw it away? When do you not force it? And I think that's where he's still trying to learn some of that. And at this point, I would have expected to see that development a little bit more. But I'm still giving him some grace because, at the end of the day, if we're still winning games, that's the main thing. But you've got to see that continue to progress. You can get away with having that natural ability, and that's going to get you so far. But then it's making those other progressions. And I think that's one of the things I'm still waiting to see develop. And I would have expected a little bit more at this point. But he can get away with it because we're still winning games. So we can kind of let that slide as Bills Mafia. But I want to see him make those better moves than, like you said, throwing the vertical ball into double coverage 50 yards down the field, because you can when you've got the check down 5 yards out. Take the easy 5 yards sometimes. We don't need to go for 50 every play.
Very true.
How is the ex-Saint Deontay added to the offense and the special teams of the Buffalo Bills?
What was that again, Coach? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
The ex-Saint Deontay.
Deontay Hardy?
How is he added to you guys, both offensively on special teams and as a receiver?
I haven't seen as much of him as I wanted to, and honestly, I feel the same with Sherfield. I feel like we got two quality additional receivers in there that I want to see a little more of. Hardy, I love. I love his size. I love the quickness. He reminds me of a better version of Isaiah McKenzie. He's just that kind of guy that's running around like a little firecracker out there. I think on special teams, he's definitely filled that gap, because he has that quickness and that speed. We saw a little bit of it on offense, not as much as I'd like to see. Same thing. We've got the talent. I just want to see Allen spread it out a little bit more. I think that's one of the things that you see some of these more, I don't say there's a lot more elite quarterbacks, but you see a lot more of in some cases, like, and I hate to refer to this because I do not like him, no matter what, Patrick Mahomes. You see him spread that ball out
around well. Yeah.
And that's one of those, I think, difference makers. He'll go to Kelsey in a tight situation, but you've seen him even in the past couple weeks, go to a little bit more. Rice has been seeing a lot more targets lately. Allen, you're still seeing tons of targets to Diggs, occasionally to Davis, but other than that, everybody else kind of falls off. And I think that's where he needs to get comfortable, is really leveraging the rest of the guys around him, especially Hardy and Sherfield. I mean, you've got talent with those guys. They can catch it and make things happen. You got to use them, though.
So let me ask you about Diggs. Just listen to news reports and media stuff. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of controversy as Diggs is he like, I won't say a problem to the owner, or is it just his passion for the game because he wants the ball?
I think it's passion. I think, if you saw the clip from a couple of weeks ago when he was on the sideline, he threw he pulled, I like to think of the Tom Brady, because I always remember this Tom Brady throwing the tablet, right?
The tablet, yeah.
That is what I want to see out of all those guys. I want that passion. I want that drive. I want that desire to win. These guys are professionals. Like, if you're playing just to make the money, then you shouldn't be playing. Like, you should be playing because you're passionate. And I will never fault a guy for being passionate about what they do, regardless if it's football or anything you do, right? If you're passionate, you care.
True.
And
True.
I love seeing that about Diggs. You want to throw a tablet, throw 10. If that's what you need to do and you're passionate and you want to win, I will take that all day. I want a whole team of those type of guys, right? Like, you're out there to win. And he shows that. I'm not worried about, like before the season, everyone worried about Diggs and Allen and, are they getting along? Are they not getting along? I don't think that's the issue at all. I think they both have that passion, but they show it different ways of wanting to win. Diggs wants to retire here, and I truly believe that. And I think he's got the opportunity to take this team to that next level along with Allen. They just need to keep putting it together. And, Diggs expects a lot, and I love that about him. I want that out of those guys. Give him the ball. If he wants it 20 times a game and you can get it to him, fine. I mean, we got to use the other guys, but he's passionate because he wants to win, and I love that about him.
All right. Jerry, my final question for you, my brother, is the 2023 season will be considered a success for the Buffalo Bills if, fill it in for me.
We finally get back to the Super Bowl. I want to say win it. Winning it's a tough task for any team, right? Like, I want us to win it. We have taken it, but we need to take that next step in the playoffs. We've got to win the AFC Championship. Now, if we make it and we don't win the Super Bowl, I'm gonna be sad. I'm not gonna lie. I want that trophy. We all do. But and every team can say that, right? But there's only a certain few of us that have an opportunity to really get that trophy. But I think for us, we've got to get over that hump. We've got to win it. I think the Bengals this year are having a down year. I'm not sold. It's funny to me that they signed Burrow for all this money and now they're struggling. I mean, they're starting to look more like the Bengals again. I think the Chiefs are still a beatable team. I do. Patrick Mahomes is good, but they're a beatable team. We just have to get over that hump. I think the Dolphins, you can definitely make an argument. They're the team to beat right now, but you can say that about probably 6 or 7 teams in the NFL. I don't think this year there's a clear cut. You look at that team and you're like, that's the team right there. I think you could make the argument for the Dolphins, the Niners, the Bills, the Chiefs. True. I mean, there is a number of teams that could be the ones to do it. But this year for us, we got to win the AFC Championship. We got to get back to the Super Bowl.
All right. Jeremy, tell everybody before you get out of here, my brother, once again, thank you for being here. We really appreciate you. Let everybody know your platform, where they can find you at and follow you at.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at BWR the Stampede. You can follow me and all my friends here on the PSF app, Beware the Stampede, and the Bills fans page. And you can also follow along on the website, bewarethestampede.com. And I appreciate you guys having me on today. It's been great.
Beware of the Stampede. All right.
Well, yeah, beware the Stampede, baby. I like that, man.
Right.
I love spending time with you guys. This has been great.
Thank you for being here, man. Thank you for being here, bro.
Appreciate it.
Hey, man, you family, man. You welcome back anytime, man. We appreciate you.
Say the word, and I'll be back.
I will, man. Hey, matter of fact, I'll reach out to you for the AFC Championship game when you're playing the Chiefs.
There we go. I like it.
There we go. All right, Jeremy. Have a good one. Thank you, my brother.
Take care, man.
Take care. All right, family. That was Jeremy from Beware the Stampede, man. Good brother, man. That was a good interview, man.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Coach, me and Nine, we already gave our thoughts on this game. What's your thoughts on this game before we move on to the next one?
Oh man, that's a hell of a game there.
Yes.
It's a hell of a game there. It's like Wizard of Oz type. I don't know, bro. It's just something special about the Detroit Lions this year. They just the defense flies to the ball. They believe in everything. Campbell is giving them right now. Close game. I'm going with Detroit by 3.
Detroit by 3. Okay. Did we even pick this game?
We talked about it, but we didn't.
We didn't pick
it.
Okay.
I mean, I personally think the Lions are going to pull it out. Just from seeing the struggles the Ravens have had the last couple of weeks, I don't think those struggles are going to go away anytime soon. There's a clear disconnect between QB and receiver. You can see it. I think the Lions just have enough to beat them. And like they were saying, you know, with the Bills, with the Beware Stampede, Lamar Jackson is the number one rusher for that team. Right. As long as he's the number one rusher for that team, I think that's the issue. I think the quarterback should not be the number one rusher for your team, especially in today's type of offense. That shouldn't be that way. So I'm going with the Lions.
Hey, I'm rolling with Motown too, baby. Motown all the way. So we're going with the Lions there. Next game up, the Cleveland Browns at the Indianapolis Colts. Beware the mustache. We talked about it earlier. Beware the mustache because he doesn't care.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Gardner Minshew does not care. He will continue to sling that thing, man. What's our thoughts on this contest?
This one, if Watson plays, I think the Browns win handedly. If he does not play, it's going to be a very tough game for them, I think. Because, like you said, Gardner Minshew, he plays and has a short memory. It doesn't matter what happens. He goes out there and plays like it never happened. And I like that about him. I've liked watching him play when he was with Philly. I liked watching him play in Philly. But I think the Browns will pull this one out. I think the defense is going to be very successful in this game.
Going to the Browns. What about you, Coach?
I'm going with the Colts on this one. I think another close game, but I'm going to go with the Colts.
All right, Coach is going with the Colts. And just a quick tell of the tape of this ball game here. The Browns will come in with the 27th ranked offense, but much of that could be to the absence of their quarterback. But even with Deshaun Watson was in there, man, I think they were still trying to find themselves as an offense.
Yeah.
But listen, that defense they got the number one defense in the league. The coach would bring in the number 11 offense, but the 27th ranked defense. So you have the 27th ranked offense against the 27th ranked defense.
That's pretty funny.
That's funny as hell, right?
Yeah,
there,
that's actually funny.
Now the Browns do bring in the ninth leading rushing attack in the league, but of course we know Nick Chubb's out for the season, and we just found out earlier that Kareem Hunt doesn't look like he'll be a go today. As for the coach, look, Zach Moss has been running that ball, man.
He looked good last week.
Yeah, Taylor got that money, and ever since they paid Taylor, Moss has said, "Hey, we got 2 running backs here." I think this game could be closer than people think. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to Colts in this game, fellas. I think I'm going to Colts. Right. I think I'm going to Colts in this game.
I think it's going to be close. I'm sticking with the Browns.
Right. Looking at some numbers: 678 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions for Deshaun Watson. Jared Ford, who looks to be the running back today, 67 carries for 270 yards. The leading receiver, Amari Cooper, 22 catches for 367 yards, and Elijah Moore, 21 receptions for 167 yards.
Another team that don't utilize they tight end. Njoku.
Tight end that much, right?
Njoku is a beast.
Yes.
He is an athletic freak.
Does he even average 50 catches or 45 catches a year? It's like he's missed, like you say, like they're misusing him. He's not used enough.
They're not even using him.
He's a nightmare. He's a mismatch.
Oh yeah.
What's your thought about the young tight end, Coach?
I mean, you basically touched up on it, man. Nobody's really using the tight ends like they should anymore. I don't know, like every team is just locked in on a main receiver now, just one receiver type. When there's so much wealth to spread the ball around, but he's going to be a beast, bro. It's just these quarterbacks now, they're just like locked in on just that one primary receiver.
Right.
And there's so much other talent around all these quarterbacks, but you're not seeing it.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, the next game up, the Bills against the Patriots. And again, if the Bills lose this game, something is wrong.
Something is clearly wrong.
Something is clearly wrong. So
I definitely agree.
I think this is a clean sweep, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I'm going with Buffalo. Sorry, Patriots. Y'all are in full implode mode. Y'all in rebuild mode. And I don't think y'all know it yet. Hey, and word is that broke this morning from Adam Schefter that the Patriots and Bill Belichick have agreed to like a 2-year extension on the contract, man.
Really?
So, yeah. So Belichick's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. So evidently he'll still have his GM role.
Is that game in New England today?
Yeah, it's in New England.
Yes,
I'm going upset.
Huh?
I'm going upset.
You taking the Patriots over the Bills.
As horrible as they look, they'll do for one breakout game. And it may be the only breakout game this year. And I'm saying it's this one right here.
You could be right, Coach. You could be right. But I'm going with the Bills. I'm going with the Bills.
I can't do that. I know I do some crazy I can't do that one, Coach.
I just hope Josh Allen, like they were saying, I hope Josh Allen learns to utilize all his different skills players. He has too many skilled players. He said, "Coach, you feeling okay?" He has too many skilled players to not utilize them all. Like Diggs is not the only answer, and you barely go to Gabe Davis. Like this, spread the wealth around. And we only see them use Dalton Knox when they're desperate. They don't use him when they should. They don't use him in third downs. They don't use him when they're supposed to. They don't use him in the end zone like they're supposed to. They use him when they're desperate for yards, and that's a bad recipe. But I think against the Patriots who are just flailing in the wind, you shouldn't lose to them.
No, this shit. I don't think, Coach. I don't even think it'll be close, Coach. I think it'll be like 27-3, something like that. That's if they score 3. All right, next game up. The Commanders and the Giants, NFC East. Listen, the Giants, they look good against Buffalo. Some might say they should have won that game last week. So what are we thinking about this game here?
Let me see.
I'm gonna make mine quick. like the coin toss. Just toss it up. Here's the tails. I don't know what's gonna hit the ground. That's my answer on that one, bro. I don't know what's gonna hit the ground.
Oh, man. Oh, it's a toss. It's just a toss up, man. Just
a toss up.
Whichever way the wind blows.
Whichever one hit the ground.
I mean, I'm going with Washington. I think Sam, he'll have a good game. Jones is showing as inactive, so I'm going with the Commanders, bro. I'm going with the Commanders.
Going with the Commanders.
Yeah.
Dolph, I'll be right back. Okay.
Yes, sir. All right, let's get the tail of the tape in this contest also, man.
Yeah.
All right. So in this contest today, we got the number 28 offense in the Commanders against the 28 offense in the Giants. The Giants come in with the 28. The Giants are 28 in offense, total defense, and passing, and they're 20 in rushing. What about the Commanders? Nothing to write home about. They're 20 in total offense. Now, this is what I think this is what's hurting this team. I think their defense is underachieved this year. I think they have a lot of good pieces over there in Washington. And for them to be ranked 30, man, that defense is underachieving. They got some good guys up front on that D-line, linebacker, secondary. For them to be the 30 ranked defense right now going into week 7, man, something's going on there. They should definitely not be that low. And
definitely. I mean, with how they had a hot start at the beginning of the season, you wouldn't expect them to be 30th. You just wouldn't,
Right.
So there's some scheme issues going on with that team.
Right. And they're 15th in passing. The Giants are 28. The Commanders are 24th in rushing. The Giants are 20th. It could come down to who's able to have the better running game today. That's helping their quarterback out with play action pass. As we can see the numbers on Sam Howell, 67% of his passes completed for 1,500 yards. He has 9 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Robinson is the leading rusher for the Commanders with 77 carries for 302 yards. And Sam Howell second on the team in rushing with 104 yards. Looking at the Giants, Daniel Jones, 68% of his passes he's completing for 884 yards with 2 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Now, listen, we all thought that last year that Daniel Jones had turned the corner, that he was finally blossoming into the quarterback that the Giants hoped he would become. I mean, hey, he led them to the playoffs. Call it what you made. He got a win in Minnesota, which was a gusset win, and he was a big reason. They paid him in the off season, and so far this season, it's been just a total disaster. But it all cannot be put on him because the Giants' offensive line is just horrible.
Yes.
They're just horrible up front. And Barkley's only got 53 carries this season for 207 yards. And Daniel Jones is second on the team with 197 yards rushing.
Daniel Jones already has 28 sacks.
28 times.
He already has.
Wow.
And last season, he had 44 total. So he's on pace to break that.
Wow.
He's on pace to break that easy. 28, and we only in week 7?
28 sacks. So week 14, we'll be looking at what?
He possibly can have 56 sacks.
About 56. He won't make it through the season at that rate. No. There's no way in hell that kid makes it through the season at that rate.
He gonna break a record.
Or get broke up, one of the two.
Man, real talk. All
right, here we go. Next game up. The battle for first place in the NFC South, baby. The 3-3 Dirty Birds, Atlanta Falcons taking on those one-eye Pirates, the Buccaneers. Who we got in this one?
This one I think will be interesting. I think it'll be interesting to see if the Atlanta defense can even show up to the party. If Tampa Bay kind of show up a little bit, I think it gives Tampa Bay the edge. Baker Mayfield looks a lot better than all of us anticipated this season.
Yes.
No one thought he was going to look the way he looks. I mean, we had Tampa Bay down and out. I thought they was going, losing 15 games easy, but he looks very comfortable in that system. And as long as the receivers feel comfortable and they feel confident in what they got at QB position, it's hard to go against them in games because they look good. They don't look bad.
They don't. And right now he's the best quarterback in the NFC South. I know that hurts a lot of people, but he's the best quarterback in the NFC South. I was not one who thought Tampa Bay was going to take a nosedive. I kept saying all off season they only lost the greatest quarterback of all time. I understand that, but they still have those receivers. They still have a stout defense. That they still have talent over there, and now it's coming to fruition. And right now, this is the battle for first place. As you mentioned, will the Falcons defense show up for this game? If they show up, the Falcons have a chance, I believe, to win this game. I really want to watch B. John Robinson. He's one of my favorite players to watch in college, and I think the kid is very special. This is going to be a knockout, drag-out fight here. Desmond Ridder coming off one of his not so. Well, I think he probably was one of his worst. How many interceptions did Desmond Ridder throw last week?
Let me see. I can tell you. Pull up his stats real quick.
Yeah, because he threw a couple last week, man.
Let's see. I know he got 6 so far.
Did he throw 6 in one game?
No, he got 6 total so far.
Let's see. Yeah, because he got 1,380 yards with 6 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. B. John is the leading rusher for the Falcons with 80 carries for 401 yards. Algier is second with 75 carries for 242. They have one of the best 1-2 punches in the league. Drake London, 26 catches, 329. Smith, the tight end, 25 catches for 282 yards. Who's missing on that list, man?
On their squad?
Yeah, from Florida, the tight end. What's the kid name?
Oh, damn.
Yeah, see that's the problem right there. We sitting up here saying, "What's the kid name?" and damn,
yeah,
you know that's the problem right there. Chad, help us out. Y'all know who we talking about. Looking at Baker Mayfield numbers, 65% of his passes completed for 1,088 yards, 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. The leader on rusher is White.
Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts, man, great athleticism, great talent. Is he just being underutilized? Is he not?
I think they just really started using him within the last couple of weeks, to be honest with you, because I've heard his name a lot more the last couple of weeks. They just him and Jonnu, they just very started kind of using him in tandem. But I mean, another person that they don't use, I don't see them utilize either. I know he's older, but Cordell Patterson, like he is good. He's still good.
He's all purpose, man. You got Adele to go with Algier and Bijan, and I think that's what it is too. I think they used him the last few years out of necessity because of needing somebody to carry the ball. Then Algier came along. Jill came along last year. Now this year they draft Bijan Robinson. That's 2 young, very good young running backs, 1-2 points. Now Patterson can go back as being your 3rd receiver, possibly 2nd receiver, punt kick returner. You know, just being Cordell Patterson, man.
And then I don't really, you know, I've only seen like 1 or 2 games, but I didn't see them use. I see them force the ball to Drake London. I see them force the run game with Bijan Robinson. I don't see them using Mac Hollins. Mac Hollins came from the Raiders. Mac Hollins is a damn beast, and he actually put on like 15 pounds of muscle this offseason just to play as a number 1 receiver. He put on weight, and in the preseason he was killing. And I mean, and then when you see the games, they don't really utilize him. Not like I think they should, because he's very dependable. He has great hands. He can be a possession receiver when you need that. You know that you need that you do that 3rd and 6. He's reliable. He's reliable. Derek Carr, he was reliable with Derek Carr. So I think they need to utilize him a lot.
Right. And the leading receivers for the Buccaneers, of course, is Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Godwin leading the team in receptions with 27. Evans leading them in yards with 386. Evans has 3 touchdowns on the season. Godwin is yet to find the end zone. So in this game 9, who you going with?
Well, like I said, if the defense for Atlanta shows up, it could make it interesting. But I think Tampa Bay is going to pull this win out. I think they're going to pull this win out.
Right.
Yeah.
Looking at, like I say, I think
they too relying on the run game, Atlanta.
Yeah, and Desmond Ritter plays different on the road than at home. I think I'm gonna go with the Bucs in this, but I think the Falcons could pull this out. But I'm gonna go with the Bucs at home.
I'm right there with you, brother. I'm right there with you.
All right, family. Next up, the 1-5 Cardinals at the 3-2 Seahawks. The NFC West battle. Do records really matter in this game?
No, not really.
No, not really.
I think the Rams, not the Rams. I think the Cardinals are at the point where they've plateaued with their total talent. I don't think they have another ceiling. I think they are where they're at, and now it's just going down. You know what I'm saying? They look good at certain games. They have some decent complete games. You know, they beat Dallas, where you thought, okay, well, maybe they do have something here with this quarterback. But as we've seen the weeks after, they kind of just played okay. You know, So, and the Seahawks, they have something to prove. Geno Smith has something to prove. So I'd be surprised if the Cardinals beat the Seahawks. I'm going with Seahawks with this one, man.
Going to Seahawks. Like you said, the shocker when the Cardinals beat Dallas. The Cardinals actually have been pretty competitive to be a 1-5 team in games. The Seahawks 3-2. For the Seahawks, to me, this is a game that a must win, because this is a team that you cannot lose to.
Yeah.
So, like you said, Geno. I think the defense for Seattle's getting better. I'm gonna roll with the I'm gonna roll with the Seahawks at home. We know Kyler Murray is working his way back. He says he wants to play this season, that he's going to play. But it just ended by the time I think they got another 3 weeks. So by the time he comes back, you could have a 1-8 football team, man. And my thing is, do you even bring them back and play them if you're the Cardinals, or do you keep tanking for Caleb?
If you 1-8 by the time he's actually ready to play, I don't know if I'll bring him back. I don't think I would.
Right.
I don't think I would.
I start. Would you just put him on the trade block, see what you can get?
Probably. I would have done that before they gave him the contract.
that contract's gonna be hard to move, man.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to eat the majority of it.
They're gonna have to. They don't have no choice because I don't think they want Kyler Murray there anymore either. So, it's too much conflict with him and the coaches. I don't think he's a student of the game. He's not there learning. The stuff we heard about him not wanting to learn the playbook, not studying the playbook, those weren't lies. Those were truths. Those are a bunch of truths. And the fact that they had to take it out of the contract to make him look good, that was about him. That was about how he looked. That was about image. It had nothing to do with we did something wrong. No, that was image to make it. They want to make him look better so they can trade him off eventually, get rid of him.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to Seahawks in this game. And looking at the tail of the tape in this game, the Cardinals bring the 14th ranked offense. They bring the better offense into this game, which is surprising. Shout out to Dobbs, man. Josh Dobbs, man. Listen, he hasn't been bad, man.
Yeah,
he hasn't been bad. The problem with the Cardinals has been the defense.
Mm-hmm.
And they got the number 5 rushing attack with Connor in the league. So listen, the Cardinals could surprise. That's what I'm saying. It's a must-win for the Seahawks. The Seahawks cannot take the Cardinals lightly. It's a division game, so it's even more intensified.
Yes.
And so I'm going with the Seahawks because they should prevail. And just looking at some stats, speaking of Dobbs, man, on the season, he's completed 62% of his passes for 1,215 yards. He's got 6 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. James Conner leading the way on the ground with 68 carries for 364 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Brown is the leading receiver with 29 receptions for 334. Wilson in second, 18 receptions for 317. Looking at Geno Smith, 67% of his passes have been completed. He has 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, kind of off track from what he was doing last year for 1,172 yards. Kenny Walker, the running back, 83 carries, 345 yards for 6 touchdowns. The young rookie from UCLA, Zach Charbonnet, he has 109 yards on 23 carries this year. DJ Metcalf, who I believe is dealing with maybe a hamstring or something.
I think so,
game time decision today. He has 22 receptions for 337 yards. And Tyler Lockett, ever dangerous Tyler Lockett, 23 receptions for 251 yards. And both of those gentlemen have 2 touchdowns apiece. All right.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir. Next game up. The Packers at the Broncos. The Broncos got to win this game.
You would think so. You would think so.
The Broncos have to win this game today. Oh, listen, people already think they got a fire sale going on over there. Let me ask you this. Do you actually think that there's a chance that they move Jerry Jeudy before the trade deadline?
Yeah. He actually wants out.
He wants out.
Yeah, he wants out. So I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I think Broncos fans would be, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Gotcha.
I think because he's been inconsistent there, and I think his inconsistencies has to do with the fact that he's not happy there anymore. He's just going through the motions. He's going through the motions. He wants to be in a place where he can, and it could be the same thing we heard about. When you look at the past Seattle situation, just looking at Russell Wilson he's not an approachable person. One, he's not a real team player. Two, you know what I'm saying? Like if we on the same team and I can't even call you,
right?
I got to go through somebody just to get to you. That's not a good environment. That's not a good environment at all.
Right.
So I think Judy wants up out of there. So I think he probably will be gone before trade deadline. Sean Payton, I don't know, call better plays. Russell Wilson needs to just play. He needs to channel who he was, because who he is right now is not going to work for his rest of his career.
Sean Payton needs his quarterback to come through for him.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying with Russell Wilson. He needs to channel the old Russell Wilson, because the Russell Wilson that we got right now,
right?
He ain't doing it. He ain't doing it for the Broncos.
Yeah, he ain't doing it. And compensation wise, what would you if you were the GM and you were calling the Broncos? What would be the compensation that you would offer for Jerry Jeudy? I know it's not a 1. I wouldn't think of 2.
No, I probably may offer a 3. To be honest with you,
okay.
I might see what they lacking and see what we got in abundance. If we got something in abundance, I might send a player over there with the 3 just to be generous.
Mm-hmm.
But really, it's like I can't see a 1 or a 2 right now because of how the play has been going. His play doesn't validate that type of trade.
Gotcha. And looking at the tail of the tape, gentlemen, in this game, the Packers bring the 31st ranked offense into this game. The 31st. After that week 3 full quarter comeback against the New Orleans Saints, everyone was patting Jordan Love on the back. They were calling him the next great thing in Green Bay history at the quarterback position, but things have not really worked out that well. They are 2-3. They have the number 29 passing game, which falls on him, and the 30 rushing game. So, I mean, listen, you got good running backs. I know they lost the starting left tackle, the All-Pro for the season, but man, the Packers, man, offensively, man, they're in shambles, man. And they have and what's hurt most of all, they have the number 7 ranked defense. Go ahead now.
Well, that's kind of crazy. The fact they have such a high defense, but the offense hasn't shown that it's being affected by that play. You know, like you would think if they're getting the ball back sooner and quicker, they have more opportunities. And if they're 31, they're not taking they're not taking those opportunities, you know, at a high regard and actually just playing, you know, I don't know, playing good ball. But the fact that 31, 29, and 30, that's kind of terrible. But it's weird because when you see Jordan Love play, he don't look like he got the 31, you know, ranked offense. He don't play like it.
Right. But I mean, the Broncos offense is ranked 18th. But
which I'm actually surprised. But I mean, statistically, I think what Russell Wilson is 122 for 185, 1,300 yards on the season. He actually got 12 TDs and 4 interceptions. So his numbers look pretty good.
Right, his numbers look pretty good. There. Just pulled them up. Yeah, 12 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 66% completion rate. Yeah, his numbers do. They don't have a running game.
No, they can't establish one.
McLaughlin and Williams both have 190 yards, and between them they got 1 touchdown.
Well, one thing I noticed too with them is that offensive line for Denver. Even though Russell Wilson does have good numbers, he has been on the run quite a bit. So if the line can't hold for, you know, a 3-step drop back, a 5-step drop back, or a 7-step drop back, that means they can't hold for that run game. So if you can't establish a run, then that means that Russell Wilson is going to be on the run, and that's not good either.
Right. And the leading receiver is Sutton with 25 receptions for 275 yards. Marvin Mims, they got him with 10 receptions for 246. For the Packers, Jordan Love on the season, only completing 55% of his passes for 1,083 yards. He has 8 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Andre Dillon, 64 carries, 194 yards. Love is second with 18 for 109. Dobbs, 21 catches, who was his favorite receiver for 228. And Reed, the young receiver out of Michigan State, has 13 catches for 210 yards and 2 touchdowns. So yeah, looking at this game, man, I say the Broncos have to win, but I don't think they're gonna win. I'm going with the Packers. I think the Packers go take this game, bro. I'm going to the Packers in this one.
I'm right there with you. I think the Broncos should. They need the win. I mean, me being, my team being AFC West, seeing them play going 1-5 is hilarious to me because one of my close friends is a Broncos fan, one of my close homeboys, and he's talked so much trash over the years when they had Peyton Manning. So I just relish in this downfall for them. But Broncos should win, but I believe Green Bay will probably win in the long game.
No. Coach, what's your thoughts in this game, Coach?
Man, it's another one of them coin tosses, bro. I'm going with the Packers, but it's another coin toss here, bro. Yeah. I'm gonna go with the Packers, though.
All right, I got a question. What's the over under, and how many tablets Sean Payton break today?
I mean, for this game, the over and under is 44.5. But I mean, for the Sean Payton tablet breaking, man, that could be. I would go at least 3. That's a +3 right there.
Hey, Coach, better yet, Coach. How many times today was Sean Payton had to cuss out a player?
I don't think they got enough times. Shit. Man.
Oh, man. All right, brother. We moving on to the next game.
Yes, sir.
The underachieving LA Chargers and Arrowhead taking on the Chiefs. I'm taking the Chargers in this. I'm taking the Chargers. I think the Chargers got an opportunity to go in the Arrowhead today and pull this off. Yeah, the Chiefs they're 5-1, but that 5-1 has not been the kind of 5-1. It's not been the type of execution we've been used to seeing from this team this season. They had a lot of games that have been struggles. So I'm going to go with the Chargers. I think Justin Herbert is due a big time win, and going up against Patrick Mahomes, I'm sure he wants to go out and shine also. So I'm going to Chargers.
I agree with what you're saying. The road for KC has not been a balanced road. It's been a good road for them. I mean, we always thought that Tyreek Hill was the main focus of their offense, and then when Tyreek Hill left and it kept rolling, we all realized that we were all wrong, and it's always been Kelsey the entire time. But when we have Kelsey, who's still technically working back from injury, and the last game he seemed to kind of reignite the injury itself. So I don't know what percentage he's at when he's playing right now. Mm-hmm. I feel like Herbert and Allen and Kelly, they have a good combination of players. And just like what you're saying, there should be a time where they just got to play a complete game, man. It just has to be, give me one good complete game, and I think they can take out the Chiefs. Gosh, I think they can. So I'm gonna go against what my initial thoughts are, and I want the Chargers to win. That's what I'm going for. But I feel like I want the Chargers, but I feel like the Chiefs, they just always find a way, man.
Find a way. Yeah. What you got for us, Coach?
Keep going, the Chiefs. Let's just keep moving on now. Kansas City.
All right. And a quick look at the tail of the tapes. The Chargers bring in the 19th ranked offense. The Chiefs number 5. This is the key this year. The Chiefs got top 8 defense, fam. The Chiefs are ranked 8th in the league. They have been playing great defense, and they're number 3 against the pass and 12th against the rush. So yeah, but I still just think that the Chargers go pull up set today. I'm going to Chargers in that one.
I hope they do.
All right, here's the next one. Frisco, Monday night, 49ers against Vikings. I believe Justin Jefferson is still out. Kirk Cousins will put up good numbers, I still believe. But the Vikings' lack of a running game and suspect defense. 49ers just lost in Cleveland. They're upset. I say 49ers all day in this one.
Oh yeah, I like I said in our week video, I think this is the perfect game for them to have a bounce back from. The Vikings have given up so many turnovers in the last couple games. the Niners, yes, they lost against the Browns. Browns has a stout defense. Vikings don't have a defense like the Browns. Kirk Cousins, for whatever reason, doesn't show up in the limelight like that. So he's gonna probably falter on Monday night. And I just seen something that says that from Schefter that that McCaffrey is possibly going to play on Monday. So, with him, and they have two other backups that they actually have brought up to play behind him in the running game. I feel like the Niners are going to not only bounce back, but they're going to look very convincing in this win.
Gosh.
I agree. 49ers.
And looking at the tail of the tape in this game, family, Brock Purdy on the season is completing 67% of his passes for 1,396 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Coach, let me ask you this. A lot of people are saying that Brock Purdy is a product of the system that he's in. And a lot of people are calling him a system quarterback. But for a system quarterback to be successful in that said system, does not that quarterback have to go out there and perform and have the skill set mentally and physically to get the job done, or am I missing something? In other words, is Brock Purdy not being given enough credit for actually how good this young man is?
I don't think he's being given enough credit, bro. And then you also have to give Shanahan a lot of credit too, bro, because he's been doing a lot with his quarterbacks. He just plug them in, and that's great coaching, bro. And on top of that, I think Purdy he understands. If you watch the kid, his decisions, he knows exactly where he wants to go with the football. There's no hesitation. He sees his first, his second progressions when he come up to the line of scrimmage. He reads it, and he knows immediately where he wants to go with that football, bro.
Right. And offensively, on tail the tape, number 13 and number 8 offense respectively. Niners bring the number 4 defense in, and the Vikings bring in the number 18 defense in. They're folding passing. The 49ers are 12th. The big difference, like you say, Chris McCaffrey expected to go. The Niners bring the number 3 rushing attack in. The Vikings are 27. And listen, the Jets are shopping Dalvin Cook. The Vikings may want to bring them back home. I'm just saying, because it's been hard. And speaking of stats, man, if you look at Kirk, despite their record, if you look at Kirk Cousins,
his numbers is crazy.
Look at this man numbers. Completing 67% of his passes, 1,679 yards, 14 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. Madison, the leading rusher, with 82 carries for 320 yards. On the other side, Christian McCaffrey's got 110 carries for 553 yards and 7 touchdowns. Man, like Coach said, 49ers all day in this game, family. 49ers all day. Now, it's time.
So, guys, before we go to the game, let me tell you what I'm about to go. Let me tell you what happened last night. My youngest daughter cooked, and I was wondering, it was the first time why nobody wanted to eat the food. And guess what?
Oh no!
I'm getting it now, bro. I gotta throw up. That shit killing me.
Oh God!
I see why nobody wanted to eat it. Bro, I'm sitting there sweating in my stomach. But guess what? Daddy gotta say it was good.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. I'm gonna catch y'all, man.
Feel better, Coach. Feel better,
Coach. Get some Pepto or something, bro. Get some Pepto.
I tried that, though. That's why I went to the store and I dropped my daughter. I just tried that work. No, bro.
All right, man.
All right, y'all.
Take some ginger ale. Try some ginger ale.
Yeah, I got a 2 liter sitting up on the counter.
All right, Coach.
All right, man.
All right, Coach.
All right, man.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, man, got my stomach hurt. All right, family.
Got the bubble guts.
Yeah, it's time for the. All right. Game of the week. Here we go.
That's funny.
Yeah,
that is funny. Yeah. You was right, St. John. You was right. You was right.
Oh, let me see. I knew Coach wasn't feeling right. Yeah, for that pick you there, yeah.
That's true. He was right. That's funny.
All right. Everybody in the chat, put your charts in. this really is. I think I can say the game of the year, and I think this is gonna live up to it.
I hope it does. I hope it does.
Well, I hope it does too. Going to Philly, high explosive offense. Team put up 70 this year. Eagles just got clipped last week by the Jets. I'm going with the Dolphins, man. I think the Dolphins are a well-rounded team. They can run the ball, they're explosive, not just with the cheetah, but their entire receiving core. They have a great young head coach who's innovative, man. I'm going with the Eagles. I'm going with the Dolphins. I'm going with the Dolphins, man.
Brother, I like Jalen a lot, man. I like Jalen, and I hated to see him lose in the Super Bowl last year. I was rooting for him tough, right. But just looking at what Miami does, they just break you down. Every play just breaks you down, one play at a time.
Right.
Miami Dolphins, it's hard to root against them in this game. I feel like the Eagles defense, like I said, they had a bunch of injured players the last couple of weeks, and they're finally kind of starting to get back together and bring everything back into the fold. But it might not be enough for this high-powered offense.
Right.
And right now, the line has been protecting Tua as much as they can. Like they did way better they did last year. He's been upright majority of the games. He hasn't really touched grass at all. So I'm going with Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are going to win probably by like 2 touchdowns.
Dolphins by 2. Everybody in the chat, put your thoughts in. Who you got?
Yeah, let us know.
And a quick tale of the tape for this game. The Dolphins bringing the number 1 overall offense, number 1 in passing, number 1 in rushing. The Eagles bringing in the number 2 overall offense, but they bring in the 11th ranked defense. They're 10th against the pass and they're 2nd against the run. So if it comes down to a pass, it could come down to the arm or Tua and that offensive line of the Dolphins holding up against that front four of the Eagles. So with that being said, family, it's been a great show. We want to thank y'all for joining us for today. But before we get out of here, we can't get out of here. All right, y'all know what time it is. It's time for that straight balling. All right, man. Who's going to be your straight balling player candidate of the day? Now I'm going to start with you, father. Who you got, brother?
You know what? I want to go with 2 different people.
Okay.
But the first one, I think Brock Purdy is going to be one of them. I want to see what he does today. I want to see how he recovers from that bad loss. If it sits on his shoulders, or will he show up and show out in today's game? That's what I want to see. So I think he's going to have a hell of a game because he's got a lot to prove, not only to the world of the NFL, but to himself. And then to the other person is I'm going home with Max Crosby.
Max Crosby, okay.
Defensive rusher, you know what I'm saying, with the Raiders. I feel like right now going against the Chicago Bears and having to play that backup of Tyson Badgett, that's his last name, Tyson Badgett. If he's I feel like he can eat in this game. He's been actually doing pretty well. He's like 2nd or 3rd with overall sacks for the season on defense. But that's why I'm going with Brock Purdy on offense. I'm picking my defensive player to be Max Crosby.
Max Crosby. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick 2 players today too. Then.
Might as well. Let's get it.
My first player today is gonna be up there in the Great West. You know what I'm saying? Home of the 12th man. I'm going with Seahawks running back Kenny Walker III. I think he's gonna be straight balling today.
Yes, sir.
My first choice. Now my second choice is gonna be in the battle for the NFC South. Who's going to take it? I know I like I said, I picked the Bucs to win this game, but I think the Falcons have an opportunity to steal this game. With that being said, I'm going on the shoulders of number 7. That's right, the rookie, the one and only Mr. B. John Robinson. I went 2 running backs today. B. John Robinson and Kenny Walker III. Look for them brothers to straight be balling today. Listen, I'm Dog 17. He's nonfiction, real fan sports. Listen, this is as the NFL turns. your Sunday Kickoff pregame show. Family, enjoy the day, enjoy the games, and we'll see you all here next week. Until then, take care, family. We out.
Which has determined your fate. I've never seen so clear. I feel the end and it's near. The day of reckoning's here. The sound of deafening fear.